been an incredible experience to be in a special place like Antarctica. It's so beautiful to be able to run here and to be able to use this as a platform to support other females in sport. It's just been incredible. But to be honest, it's been really, really tough. I arrived here a bit over 2 weeks ago, and I've never been to a polar environment before. I've never been to Antarctica, and I was just overwhelmed suddenly with the challenge of running 1,300 kilometres. So it's been a roller coaster of an experience, but incredible at the same time.
So you trained in lots of different circumstances, in wind tunnels and refrigerated rooms, but how did that prepare you for what you are now dealing with?
It was really valuable. I learnt about what gear I needed to bring with me, how to use that gear. I learnt about nutrition, and at one point I was in the freezer and my drink bottles actually froze and I couldn't get the drink out. I learnt how to use my equipment, my watch, my GPS. So it was incredibly valuable, and we're really thankful for Titan Containers and Denso who supported us in that. But I don't think anything really allows you to prepare for an environment like this.
What have been some of the biggest challenges, the unexpected challenges that you've had to deal with?
Look, I think the biggest challenge has been the weather and the environment. We've had a real mix. Like you can see today is beautiful. It's about -10. There's a little bit of wind and great visibility, but we've had everything. I've had about day 3 where it was snowing, poor visibility. Essentially, it was like running in a cloud, and I was stumbling, falling all over the place. I couldn't see where my feet were being placed. It was cold. It was below -20, and the wind was really strong. And to be honest, I was really scared about going out in those conditions. So yeah, that would probably be one of the biggest things I've had to face.
Talk us through the logistics in terms of how you're carrying your equipment and also the food that you need to sustain yourself, because I can't imagine how much energy you'd be using just dealing with the cold, let alone doing all that running on top of that.
Yeah, look, I'm eating everything in sight and eating lots of it. In terms of my equipment, I'm running with a running pack, and that allows me to run with my equipment, like my InReach communication, my food, my drink, my extra clothing, because what I've found is that I can be running and within a split second, the temperature can change, and I can go from being really quite warm and cozy to absolutely freezing. And what we've learned is that as soon as you feel cold or as soon as you feel hot, you need to attend to that straight away, because it can get really dangerous. And I'm at risk of hypothermia and frostbite out here, so we really need to keep me safe and attend to those things really quickly.
Well, speaking of, have you had to deal with any injuries yet or anything unexpected? I mean, you mentioned before running in almost like a cloud and not knowing where your footing is. Have you had any falls or anything like that?
Every day I lose count of the number of times I stumble and fall. And to be honest, that's made my feet and my knees incredibly sore, especially at the end of the day. And at night when I lie in my tent, I can feel them throbbing. But what's been incredible is we've really focused on my sleep and recovery. And I've been really surprised how quickly I can recover and get up the next day and go again. And I actually didn't know whether I could do that, to be honest. When I arrived here, like I said, it felt like a really enormous challenge, and it really hit me. But I've been amazed at the strength that I've built over time, both mentally and physically, especially over the first week.
How do you go about sleeping though? Because isn't it daylight 24 hours at the moment?
Yeah, it's 24 hours sunlight here. We're in a tent, and essentially you open your eyes at 2 a.m. and it's bright sunlight. So we've had a mask that we wear, and we also pull a beanie over the mask as well to keep out the sunlight. And also noise is an issue. So we've been putting earplugs in because people just walking past the tent, there's a real crunching of snow, or if other tents are open, there's zipping sounds. So both the noise and the sunlight have been things we've had to contend with.